How are you feeling? How long have you been here?
3 months, May 17th.
And what brought you?
That's difficult to answer.
I'm not clear. How is it that playing the piano for people has eventually resulted in your being here in the hospital?
That's difficult to answer.
this the end? There's a noise inside my head of crying people facing death. Is this the end? Is this the end? Oh, I'm burning in the dystopia. There's no place to hide. I'm burning in the dystopia. What have we done to the world? What have we done to the world? I'm burning in the dystopia. There's no place to hide. I'm burning in the dystopia. This is the final scene of
Und weil der Mensch ein Mensch ist, drum braucht er was zum Essen, bitte sehr. Es macht ihn ein Geschwätz nicht satt, das schafft kein Essen her. Drum links, zwei, drei, drum links, zwei, drei, wo dein Platz genossen ist. Weil dich heim in die Arbeit einheitskommt, weil du auch ein Arbeiter bist. Und weil der Mensch ein Mensch ist, drum hat der Stiefel im Gesicht nicht gern. Er will unter sich keinen Sklaven sehen und über sich keinen Herrn. Drum links, zwei, drei, drum links, zwei, drei, und ein Platz genossen ist, weil dich heim in die Arbeiter einheitskommt, weil du auch ein Arbeiter bist. Und weil der Prolet ein Prolet ist, drum wird ihn kein anderer befreien. Es kann die Befreiung der Arbeiter nur das Werk der Arbeiter sein. Drum links, zwei, drei, drum links, zwei, drei, und ein Platz genossen ist, weil dich heim in die Arbeiter einheitskommt, weil du auch ein Arbeiter bist.
Здравствуйте, comrades. Welcome to Socialism Saturday. Socialism Saturday is where we watch the real far left, the farthest of the far left, really far left in this case. We are not watching Democrats on Socialism Saturday. Democrats are not socialists. They are not communists. We are not watching progressives. We are not watching liberals. We are not watching anyone that you see on the mainstream news because no matter how many times conservative influencers say it, Democrats, liberals, progressives, they are not communists. On Socialism Saturday, we watch the real far left, the people who are pushing every crazy idea in the world today. So if you want to know where critical race theory and anti-racism in schools comes from, it's people we watch on Socialism Saturday. If you want to know where gender ideology and queer theory and pink hair and weird tattoos and weird looks, queering your appearance comes from, it's the people we watch on Socialism Saturday. If you want to know where environmental justice comes from, climate change activism, it's people we watch on Socialism Saturday. If you want to know where abolish the police, defund the police comes from, it's the people we watch on Socialism Saturday. If you want to know who is doing the pro-Palestine protests, the college encampments that are starting to peak back up again, guess what? It's the people we watch on Socialism Saturday. If you want to know who's staging immigration protests all over the country, who's actively staking out ICE facilities to prevent the deportation of people they don't want deported, guess what? It's the people that we watch on Socialism Saturday. Do we have our first retard here? I love how communism definitely produces the best results in society, consistently and historically. Do you know where you are? I don't recognize you. Do you know where you are, my friend? First time ever chatting in on this channel. No, I didn't say delete it. Liquid Marble, if you keep doing this, I'm gonna take your mod away. I didn't say delete it. I absolutely did not say to delete that. I didn't say to do that, okay? This is the second time, Liquid Marble, that I've actually had to warn you this week, and I don't like it. So, now that Coyote has been unbanned, well, no, this is the second accident this week, Liquid Marble. I'm not fucking around. Now that Coyote has been unbanned, I want to know what your deal is, bro. Who are you? What is your business here? Let us know in the chat. If you do not answer my question, I really will ban you this time. So you can let us know where you come from. What do you think we are? What do you think we're doing here? No more accidents. This is the second time in like 3 days. I don't like it. Like, I give out mod wrenches, I expect the mods to behave responsibly with them. If the mods aren't behaving responsibly, the mods aren't going to have their mod wrenches anymore. Coyote, we are waiting for your answer, bro. You have 30 seconds in which to answer me. If you do not answer me, you will be permanently banned from my chat. All right. The reason that we do this exercise, by the way, is every single week for Socialism Saturday, we get conservative retards in my chat who think they're going to come and dunk on the libs because they don't understand that they're actually, see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. No idea. YouTube recommended it to me. So here's going to be my recommendation, bro. Before you come in here and you make snarky comments about, I just don't know, communism is the best thing to, like, know where you are. Know where you are. Know where you are. Know what we're doing here. Yeah, neither are we. And had you shut your fucking mouth and sat your ass down and listened for more than 3 seconds before you decided to chat in, you would have learned that. That's the point. That's always the point. Because the thing of it is, people like this that don't bother to listen to understand where they are, you guys are part of the fucking problem. The reason that we sit here every Saturday and we watch the actual far left is because people on the right don't do that. People on the right don't listen. People on the right don't pay attention. People on the right like to make shit up and then come in my chat to dunk on the socialists so that they can feel morally superior. Well, in the meantime, the real far left is winning. So here's going to be my recommendation for you. You're brand new here, but I don't really care because you've already done the typical conservative thing once in my chat. Your job right now is to shut your mouth and listen. If you can't do that, you aren't gonna survive here. I promise you that. So yeah, take that as a challenge. If you are new here right now, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You know what I care about, Coyote, is you listening to instructions and shutting your fucking mouth and listening so that you can understand where you are and what you're doing here. And if you're not going to do that, there's the door, bro. There's the door. There's the door. You can leave. A nice, warm, rousing introduction to the stream today. But the thing is, guys, this really is a problem. I talk about this all the time. The reason that the left wins over and over and over and over and over and over and over again is that people who are not on the left don't bother to actually understand what they are dealing with. All they want to do is run their mouths. And most of the time when they're running their mouths, they have no fucking idea what they're talking about because they don't listen, they don't pay attention, they don't put their own confirmation bias aside. Everything is about clickbait, everything is about outrage, everything is about bullshit and nonsense. No, the Trump administration doesn't understand what's going on either. They have no effing clue, and that is why the left will always win and we will always lose, because we can't get anyone to shut their fucking mouths and to sit down and to listen to what is going on. Who knew? Who knew this would be so difficult? But for people who do want to do that, welcome to Socialism Saturday. That's what we do here. And we're going to spend the next several hours watching some documentaries from Antifa. Because I've been spending a lot of time on Crime Think's website lately. I've been going through their documents for a couple projects that I'm working on. Crime Think is one of the publishing apparatuses of Antifa. And I don't know. Okay, now you're really getting put into timeout. Bro, I don't know what is so difficult to understand about sit your ass down and shut up. But now, because you keep chatting and you're obviously not listening, we're going to put you in a timeout. Now you really do get a timeout. You want to ignore instructions on my channel, you're not going to be able to talk much anymore. Anyway, we are watching Crime Think documentaries today, and on their website, they've got a whole bunch of stuff, things that they've made that we're going to watch. Now, I picked out a couple that from their website, but here's the thing. So here's their website. They got a couple things on it, couple videos. They've got this documentary about the cop-free zone stuff that has been going on in Atlanta. That's about 22 minutes. They've got this documentary about an anarchist collective in Virginia. I don't know anything about these, but it's only like 18 minutes. Might as well check it out. And then they have a longer one. This is about an hour, I think. Hour, 15 minutes. And this is something they're calling NCiv. And so I think this might be one of those things like ending, like abolishing civilization sort of thing. If you don't know what that means, you should check out my Counter-Revolutionary Book Club, because we've been talking a lot about what that means lately. But I think that this might be just like an esoteric kind of like weird anarchist documentary, and I'm intrigued and I would like to watch it. It says examines our culture's addiction to systematic violence and environmental exploitation, and probes the resulting epidemic of poisoned landscapes and shell-shocked nations. So we're gonna watch that. Oh God! Does anyone in the chat want to answer this question? I promise you, Mandy is going to think that we're going to say, George Soros. Soros is funding it. Or Mandy thinks we're going to say, USAID. USAID funded it. Does anyone want to answer who funds this? Does anyone want to answer it? Yeah, it's grassroots funded. They fund it. They fund it by publishing stuff, by getting donations, by people paying dues. They are self-funded. Do not listen to any person who tells you this is Soros. Do not listen to any person who says it's on USAID. Now, I'm not going to say there's none of that floating around. There is here and there. There is. Nope. No, literally no one said that. Literally no one said that. Do you want to know why? There's no evidence of that. We hinge into reality. We're already dealing with conservative retardia today. I seriously can't believe we've had such a couple. We've had 2 weeks where we had almost no retardia on this channel, and now we're already getting hit off with it. Yeah, well, okay, Mandy, I need you to stop talking. I need you to stop talking, and I need you to sit down, and I need you to open your ears and listen. All right? If you're new, welcome. We like new people here. But I promise you this is going to go a whole lot better if you take some time to listen to what is being said rather than coming in to try to dunk on the libs. That doesn't tend to go over well here, because if you think you've got something to say that we haven't heard before, you are not correct on that. All right. So we are watching these documentaries today. Now, a weird thing. So Crime Think does have a YouTube channel, but they don't really update it, and there's not really much on it. Yeah, we're on a boat far from Retardia, and it looks like a storm blew right up to us. Indeed. Indeed. Well, we take this seriously. This is not a time to joke. We take this seriously. You guys ever have those days where you just want to beat your head against the wall? You just want to beat your head against the wall? That's already what I'm feeling like. Anyway, Crime Think does have a YouTube channel, but they don't actually really upload that much stuff to it. But what's interesting is they're hosting their videos on a Vimeo channel. Now, I don't troll around Vimeo all that much, but when I went to Crime Think's Vimeo channel, they've got a lot of shit on there, and it's like they've got weird shit on there. They've got like B-roll from protests that they are involved in. You can see it's just like they've got all these like little, like really short, less than a minute long clips that they take at protests and stuff. So they collect all their B-roll footage on Vimeo, which is just kind of interesting. I'm sure they use it later. So on these, there's nothing. These are all under a minute, but you can see, and this goes back for years and years and years. They've got all sorts of shit on here. Most of it's just like small little clips of their protests and things like that. They've got things like how to extinguish tear gas in a water jug. You know, if you want to learn how to do that, you can learn how to extinguish tear gas in a water jug on Antifa's Vimeo channel. They also have this video that they blurred out everyone's faces, but this apparently was from the Cal Poly protest that happened during the encampments last spring, the college encampments, and they blurred out everyone's faces, but you can actually hear, like, it's a recording from like a meeting they had or something. I didn't really listen to much of it, but that might be something that's worth checking out too. So we're just gonna go through and watch some Antifa documentaries today, and we're gonna talk about them, and I'm going to try very hard not to cry myself into a stupor with the amount of like retardia that I have to deal with on a daily basis. And that's what we're going to do. But before we get into that, guys, couple big announcements. Now, of course, the big news this week is that my book, A Brief History of Racism, I've got the paperback copy here. It is out. It is available. This is the first book that was funded via the Red Menace Collective, which is redmenacecollective.substack.com. These are people who literally sign up to fund my ability to write books like this. And in return, what those people get is they get access to the chapters of the book before I am done writing it. So I literally publish the chapters on the Red Menace Collective Substack. As I'm writing them, people sign up for $10 a month or $100 a year, and they get access to all of the content literally as I'm writing it. They also get a free digital download of the book before it's released publicly, so they can actually be the first ones to see the finished book, look at the PDF, all that good stuff. Very blessed that many of them have also decided to buy the paperback or a Kindle version, but you can access the PDF download on the Red Menace Collective Substack, and of course you can pick up the book on Amazon. You can get it paperback and Kindle. I'm working on getting it in a couple other outlets as well, so more to come on that, but honestly, most people buy their books on Amazon, so that's cool. Now, we do have one review for the book. It is 5 stars, but guys, if you are reading the book or have read the book, please make sure you leave a review on Amazon. In fact, if you've already read the book, because it's a very quick book. This is not a in-depth read. This is a very, very quick read. That's why it's called A Brief History of Racism. If you've read it, take some time today while we're on the stream. Leave a review on Amazon. 5 stars only. If you have anything less than 5 stars, keep it to yourself. No one needs to hear about it. But if you have a 5-star review that you want to put up on Amazon, please do so. It really does help me out. So if you've already read it, take some time on the stream today. We're going to be here for several hours. Just write up a little quick review. I would really appreciate it. And of course, we'll use those to get the word out about the book. The book basically follows the creation and the evolution of the term racism from the moment it was created back in 1902 by a guy named Richard Henry Pratt. People think it was Trotsky. It wasn't Trotsky. Trotsky was a very big part of it, though. Trotsky was like the biggest, thing that happened to the word racism, but it was actually created before that. And you can find the whole history of the word and the evolution of the word, and it was a fascinating little book to write, and I really hope people enjoy it. You can find that now on Amazon. You can also download a PDF copy for members of the Red Menace Collective at redmenacecollective.substack.com as a thank you for funding my ability to do this. I really do appreciate it. And I've been teasing over the past couple days that I have a little surprise for everyone. I have a little surprise book that, of course, it's one of those things that started out as a little project. This is me every single day. Oh, I've got this idea for this little quick project that I can do. This will take me about half an hour. I don't have to spend that much time on it. And then it starts off as something small, and it balloons into taking over my fucking life every time. But, by the time I realized that this project had ballooned to take over my life, it was already too late. I was committed to it. And so I have a special surprise book that I am bringing you guys. And you can find information out about it now on the Red Menace Collective Substack. And it's not quite done yet, but it's very, very, very close. Red Menace Collective Substack members are going to get their digital copy this week. Fingers crossed, that is my plan. We are celebrating the death day of Karl Marx this year. Karl Marx died on March 14th, 1883, I believe. We are celebrating the anniversary of Karl Marx's death, and I am releasing my next book, Debunking the Communist Manifesto. This is the ultimate anti-communist manifesto. And basically what I am doing in the book is I am going through the entire Communist Manifesto and debunking it pretty much section by section. And with the debunking, you're getting very specific sources like books, articles, what have you, from credible sources that you can reference to people to say, no, this isn't what happened. Here's what happened. Or no, this is a stupid idea. Here is a smarter idea based on things like logic and reason and reality and things like that. Now, people might think this is an odd choice because on Socialism Saturday, and you're going to hear me say this, I say, we don't debunk the socialist. We never debunk the socialist. And that is generally true when your goal is to understand your opponent. If all you're ever doing is nitpicking apart the arguments that your opponent is making, you will never actually understand them. So when it comes to Socialism Saturday, we do not debunk ever. Our goal is to understand our enemy in the same way that we understand ourselves. However, in terms of a book, that is a different thing. And quite frankly, I've been watching radical socialists almost every single day for 4 years. I needed to work out some feelings, okay? This book is essentially me working out some feelings because you guys think that not debunking the socialist is easy for me. Just because I tell you guys don't debunk the socialist, don't debunk the socialist, don't debunk the socialist, don't make no mistake. It's not easy for me to sit here almost every day of my life for the past 4 years listening to these people without debunking them. And so I worked out some feelings on the Communist Manifesto. I have about 8,000 sources in the book. Okay, maybe not quite 8,000 sources, but I have a lot of sources in the book that debunks every single thing in it. And so in the book, it's okay. And what this is going to be is this is going to be a reference manual for people. Every time someone says something dumb and references the Communist Manifesto, guess what? You're going to be able to flip through this little book and you're going to be able to get a source or multiple sources saying, here is why this is wrong. Here is the historical reality. Here is how this might show up today. And what I really want people to use this for is if you find, this is for parents. I wrote this book for parents, really. Because if you find that your kids are reading the Communist Manifesto and they're starting to spout off some crazy ideas about about power and privilege and bourgeois and proletariat and oppressor versus oppressed, and they're calling to abolish capitalism and private property and all that stuff. Guess what? You can give this book to your kids and say, you're going to read that book and you're going to write me a book report, or you're going to do a presentation of the family, or you're going to contend with the ideas in that book. Because that's how clearly it is laid out. This is a fucking... I basically did the pile driver on Karl Marx. That's a wrestling move. Don't get fucking sexual and gross. I fucking slammed Karl Marx's head into the mat in this book. I'm actually really proud of it. It's coming together very, very nicely. And it will be out for public consumption on March 14th, which is the anniversary of Karl Marx's death. And of course, Red Menace Collective members will be able to download it early, but you can already pre-order the Kindle version of the book. The paperback pre-order will be coming soon. I actually have to finish the manuscript before they do the paperback pre-order, so I haven't quite done that yet, but I'm like this close. So that will be coming soon. That will be coming this week, and that is my big surprise. And I think you guys are really going to like it. And I had a lot of fun writing it. I pulled my hair out in sections on writing it. But I think you guys are really going to like it. And I appreciate the support, as always. So you guys now get another surprise book that you didn't even know I was working on, because this is how my brain works. I have a million different things in front of me, and I pick and choose what I want to work on at any given day. And even so, though, sometimes that makes things take longer than they probably should, I always am coming up with something. And you guys know that. You guys know that, at least, right? So that is the big announcement, guys. And again, if people want to join to get access to that, head over to the Red Menace Collective. That is redmenacecollective.substack.com. Pick that up. Make sure you get my the brief history of racism. I'm going to be writing so many books this year. It's going to be so beautiful. James Lindsay is whining and complaining about the woke right. While James Lindsay is whining and complaining about the woke right, I am going to magically slide in there and become the most prolific anti-communist author on the internet. And I actually think this is a really attainable goal. And he can kiss my ass, and I don't really care. And when I feel like it, Trendlin, but I promise soon. I promise. I promise. I promise. All right. Before we get into things, you guys know what happened. I got all this sake to drink for the happy hour stream yesterday. And I had a little sampling of sake. I haven't opened any of these. I had another one, and right before the stream started, I fucking dropped it and broke it. So now my whole office smells like sake. You're welcome. I was doing this instead of beer yesterday. I was trying to be fancy about it. I love sake. I love it. I love it. It's so good. So I will be sampling 3 different sakes today, not 4, because now the other one is on the floor. But just in case you guys were wondering what I'll be drinking on today's stream, I'm not drinking my usual beer. I am drinking sake. I've got a cloudy sake, I've got a coconut sake, and I've got a sparkling sake. So we've got a good little selection there, and I've got my little sake glass, which is this little glass that I had when I was a kid that I just think it's funny. Anyway, before we get into Socialism Saturday, we have a special video presentation that has been created by Reagan. Thank you, Reagan, for this. We do have rules for Socialism Saturday, and so I want everyone to pay careful attention to the rules, and especially you new people, all right? So here are the rules of Socialism Saturday. Rude Boy, you're new. Welcome. We love our new people here. All right, for anyone that's new, we have some rules for Socialism Saturday. Let me go over them real quick. Socialism Saturday is a research group and a class. We do take this seriously. You're allowed to have fun. You're allowed to have a drink or two. You're allowed to kind of kick back and joke in the chat. However, I need everyone to understand that when we are researching the radical revolutionary left, we do take this seriously. And so if you're shitposting in my chat, I'm going to tell you to stop. If you are posting off topic in the chat, I'm going to ask you to stop at some point because it's going to be distracting to what we're doing. I need you to think of yourself as in a classroom. And I'm not talking about an online classroom. I'm talking about a real-life classroom, okay? When you walk into a real-life classroom, I am the teacher, you are the student. You are sitting in the desk, I am sitting in the front of the classroom. I'm standing there teaching you what is going on. If you were in a real-life classroom, you wouldn't walk in, start throwing shit at the wall, yelling, saying, I disagree with you because my best friend said something different. That's not allowed. I don't care about your feelings. I'm not going to coddle your opinion, and that's going to be the way it is. And if you don't like it, you don't have to be here. But if you are in my classroom, you will respect my rules and you will listen to me. And if you do not do that, then you will be removed. And how you feel about being removed makes no difference to me at all. The expectation is if you're going to be here and you're going to be watching socialism with us and you're going to be participating in the chat, you are doing it because you are serious about learning this topic and understanding this topic. The minute that I think that you're just fucking around or you're trolling or something like that, you're going to get put in a timeout or permanently banned, and that's just going to be the way it is. Rule number 2, don't be a dick. Do not insult me. Do not insult other people in the chat. I can do whatever I want because I am the queen fascist bitch of my YouTube channel. So I can say and do whatever I want. But if you don't insult me and you don't insult other people in the chat, we're not going to have a problem. So be an adult, rein that shit in. Number 3, no whining. I don't care about your feelings. I don't care if you feel personally attacked. It makes no difference to me at all. And I promise you, I care about your feelings a little bit more than the left does. So if you can't handle me, you can't handle the left. If you start whining and complaining because you don't like the rules or you think you're being treated unfairly, you can just leave, bro. There's the door. You don't have to be here. Number 4, listen. Our job here and why we do Socialism Saturday is to listen to what the left is saying, to listen to what real leftists are doing in the real world. This is not to support your confirmation bias. This is not to support any conservative bullshit narrative that you may have heard on Glenn Beck that one time. This is not to be what you want it to be. This is to engage with reality. We need to listen, we need to actively listen, and we need to understand the left better than they understand themselves. That is the purpose of this exercise, okay? As part of that, I do ask that people refrain from debunking. You do not have a single debunk in your arsenal about the left is stupid because of reasons X, Y, B, and Z, or the left is her hypocrites for reasons X, Y, B, and Z. You don't have a single debunk that we haven't heard before, okay? And every time you put energy into debunking, that is energy that you're not putting into listening. So if I see you debunking, I'm going to tell you to stop because you need to put that energy into listening instead. Lastly, break the rules of my chat or disrespect me in any way, and I'll just kick you out, and that's the way it is. So shout out to Reagan for that. Shout out to Reagan for that awesome video. That was great, Reagan, and I appreciate you making it. Do you want to know why? Because it means I don't have to repeat the rules every single show. Every single time. Every single time. All right. Does everyone understand the rules of Socialism Saturday? If you do have questions, and I want to emphasize this, if you are new to this stuff, sometimes watching the far left for the first or the second time can be a little bit overwhelming. They use different language than you do. The purpose here, though, is to make sure people learn and to make sure people understand the far left. And so if you have questions about why they do what they do, why they say what they say, please do feel free to chat them in. I am paying attention to the chats on YouTube and Rumble and on X. And if you appreciate the work I'm doing, showing you this guy's stuff, breaking it down and doing all that stuff, please feel free to send in a super chat. You can send in $5 super chat, $10 super chat. Help me get to the $100 goal for today's stream because I'm completely funded by you guys. And so you guys allow me to do this sort of stuff. We also do have a power chat link in the description. If you would like to send in via power chat, I do have that up as well. So I can read off your power chat there, or you can send in via YouTube or Rumble, whatever works best. But, kind of let's, all chip in so I can keep doing this. I would appreciate it. We're going to start off with this video called We Are Now. Now, remember, the videos that we're watching today, they're going to be a little bit older. They're not going to be like the most up-to-date things because, this is just what Antifa has, okay? So this is what's on their website. This is going back probably, several years at this point. So just keep in mind that when we're watching things, it wasn't made like last week. It was probably made like several years ago. So this is a little video they made called We Are Now. I don't know why this has English subtitles, but hopefully it is in English. We can find the English one if it isn't. At the high point of the George Floyd rebellion, cop-free zones sprung up from coast to coast. As they were unfolding, Atlanta police killed Rashard Brooks, a black father of 4. Angry demonstrators torched the Wendy's where Brooks was shot at, occupied it, and defended it from the police and Klansmen for 24 days. We Are Now is a small window into the delicate moments of freedom, joyous and tragic, that filled the autonomous zones in the summer of 2020. So why are we watching this stuff? Why is it important now? This happened years ago, so why are we watching it now? I think we're about to see more of this stuff start to happen. And I think we need to remind ourselves of the tactics with which Antifa, the far left, operates. This is the militant arm of the far left. They are violent, they are dangerous, and people need to be aware of that. And I just want to go back and remind ourselves how they operate, because they roll out the same playbook over and over and over and over and over again. They are actually really predictable. People think there's no logic. No, there is logic. You just don't understand it. Because they do the same thing over and over and over again. So we are preparing for what may come in the coming months by watching what they did in the past. So let's dig in, and hopefully this will be in English, and if it's not, we can find the one that's in English.
I don't want to deal with this dude right now. Sleep. All right. How do you spell it for me?
R-A-Y-S-H.
R-A-Y-S-H. A-R-D. Okay. What's your date of birth?
January 31st, 1993.
Can you just take your hat off for me and just leave it in your car for me? You just leave it in your car. Do you have any weapons on you or anything like that?
You scared me a little bit because you were sleeping in there, so that's why I was making sure you're okay.
I think you've had too much to drink to be driving. Put your hands behind your back for me. Here, put your hands behind your back. Hey, stop fighting! Stop fighting! Stop fighting! Stop fighting! You're gonna get tased! You're gonna get tased! Stop!
What started from the murder of Rashad Brooks came a revolution. People standing up to occupy the whole area, even if they never grew up around the community or that area. Then we'll fight against the Klansmen and the police. We fought for a better world, if not. We were just normal people. But we stood up to fight to remember Rashad Brooks, to make sure his legacy remained here on this earth for a very long time.
I want you guys to remember that I think one of the reasons that they make these types of documentaries is they're looking to inspire other people. So it's like, this is stuff that the left watches. This is stuff where they kind of like, these are what they show to the people in their groups. This is what they sit around and they have watch parties together and they talk about these things and they make plans based off of these things. This is intended to be inspiring to militants that are then going to go out and do this again and again and again to help inform them of like, what is the playbook? Why do we do this? What is the, human cost of doing this? It's meant to like, kind of like pump them up to get them to do something they might not otherwise do.
We're going to start from the beginning. We really have to go back to the midst of the George Floyd protesting.
The unarmed Mr. Floyd, who was black, died in Minneapolis after being pinned to the ground by a white police officer.
Just trying to riot with the people peacefully.
I heard about New York.
I'm just trying to riot with the people peacefully. Did you guys hear that? Can I go back in this? Oh, I guess I can't. Hang on. I'm just trying to riot with the people peacefully. So, pop quiz for the chat. Why do they do this shit? Why do they do this? Why do they riot? Why do they loot? Why do they cause this type of chaos? What is the virtue of doing this? There's the Unicorn Riot logo. They're one of the people that covers Antifa. They're on YouTube. What is the virtue of this? Is it about Black Lives Mattering? Is that what it is? Is that really what it is? No, it's not excitement. That's not what it is. There is a reason that the left does everything. It is not redistribution. That's not what it is. No. No. It is a disruption of capitalism. That's not the end goal of why they're... Well, I guess it is the end goal, kind of. It does show they're in solidarity, but the real goal is to destabilize the system. The 4 goals of the woke left are always the same. Gain as much power as possible, destabilize the system, attack capitalism, usher in their Marxist utopia. They're always the same. They never deviate. Every single thing that the left does, it means they are trying to hit on one or more of those goals. They're either trying to gain power, they're trying to destabilize things, they're trying to attack capitalism, or they're trying to overthrow the system to usher in their Marxist utopia. In this case, the most obvious thing they're trying to do is to destabilize the system. It is also a rebellion against capitalism, but the real goal is to destabilize the system. The only way they get to their Marxist utopia is if they destabilize the system. I would say it indirectly does facilitate to an attack on capitalism, because what happens when they destabilize the system is they say, capitalism is the real problem here. Do you know why all this stuff is broken? Do you know why all this stuff is going bad? Do you know why all this stuff is going wrong? It's because capitalism caused all these problems. So they're going to use the destabilization to try to turn people against capitalism to get them to say, we need a new system. And that's when they get to overthrow the current system, get into the Marxist utopia. They want to destabilize it. Yup. I talked about capitalism stuff. Showing solidarity. Yes, it is an attack on private property. Yup. The system is the enemy. The capitalist system is what they consider to be the enemy. Disrupt the system. No, wrong. Completely wrong. What did I tell you about not talking and listening? I promise you, bro, the more you open your mouth, the more times I'm going to say you need to shut your mouth and listen. No, it is not Russian subversion. Completely false. Completely wrong. You should stop listening to whoever told you that, because they don't know what the fuck's going on. They want to disrupt to get power so they can end capitalism. They're burning private property. Yup, capitalism is defined as private property ownership, destabilizing. Exactly. You guys got it. Most of you got it. If you're new and you didn't get it, that's okay. Just make sure you remember for next time. No. Mandy, what did I say? No. Wrong. Completely wrong. No. Wrong. Mandy, do you want to know why their idea of... Mandy, okay, this is a pop quiz just for you, because you're talking a lot and you're not doing a whole lot of listening. What does systemic racism mean? Can you define the word you're using? Can you define the term systemic racism? What does it mean? This is only for Mandy, no one else. Mandy wants to talk so much and not listen? Well, we'll let you talk. What does systemic racism mean? We're waiting, Mandy. We've stopped the entire stream just for you. What does systemic racism mean? We're waiting. What does systemic racism mean? You're the one who used the word, Mandy. You're the one who used it. Do you not know the meaning of the words that you use? What does systemic racism mean? You have 30 seconds to answer me, otherwise I'm going to permanently ban you from my chat. What does systemic racism mean? I don't like being ignored, Mandy. I know you're sitting there listening. What does it mean? If you don't know the answer, your best option is to say, I don't know. If you can't do that, you have 15 seconds to answer, Mandy. Nope. No, that's not the question I asked you. The question I asked you is, what does systemic racism mean? You are the one who used the term systemic racism in your chat. No one else answer this. What? No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You get one more try before you get permanently banned from my chat. You did not answer what systemic racism means. This is not an answer to that question. If that's your answer, you're completely wrong. You have no fucking clue what you're talking about. So you're going to give it one more try. What is the definition of systemic racism? Yeah, we've watched Yuri on my channel. You should go back and watch those episodes. That's my opinion. My opinion is do your fucking research. No, you use the word. You use the word without understanding what it meant. Now, do you know the definition or don't you? This is a yes or no question. You should not be using words that you do not understand. I don't know why I even have to say that, but here we are. Do you know the definition of the word you... No, I want you to know the fucking definition. Yes or no? Do you know the definition or don't you? I told you to stop talking and to listen, and you didn't stop talking and listen. So now we're putting you in a position where you have to talk because you wouldn't stop talking and just listen before. Do you understand that? Do you know the definition, yes or no? I am fighting. You came in and disrupted my chat and ignored... Mandy, you walked into my fucking classroom and you just stood up and started yelling shit. And I'm saying, no, that's not what that means. No, that's not what it means. No, it's not. And instead of just responding, saying, well, what does it mean, Carlin? And maybe asking a question, you just continue to yell shit. So if you want to walk into my fucking classroom and you just want to start yelling shit... then we're going to give you the floor. What does it mean they believe racism was built into the system? What does that mean? You just said in your chat, they believe that racism was built into the system. What does that mean? This is only for Mandy. This is no one else. Mandy, I just asked you a very specific question and you're continuing to deflect. I asked you what you meant when you said they believe that racism was built into the system. Thank you. The system is capitalism. What that means, Mandy, to go back up to your chat from earlier... they're not using racism to divide people. That is not what they're doing. Do you want to know why that's not what they're doing? Because this is not about skin color. Everything is... See, you know the answer. You know the answer. So why did it take so long to get to the answer? My strong advice for you, Mandy, is you need to learn how to listen. You need to listen. Because if you are responding to questions that are not the question that was asked, you are not listening. If you are giving answers that have no relevance to what was actually asked of you, you are not listening and you are not thinking about what is required in this situation. The goal of this stream is to listen to the left, to understand the left. If you can't do that, you damn well better start learning. Thank you for finally getting to the answer 5 minutes later. If you had listened, it would have been over a lot quicker. See, now I don't even know where I am anymore. All right. We are rioting peacefully. That's right. Let's continue.
Peacefully.
I heard about New York. I heard about Washington.
So-called autonomous zone.
Texas. And the whole country was going crazy.
You had upon thousands of people all around the city for the cause. We were winning, but of course, as time went on, we were in a place of comfort. We didn't think that another Black African-American male could be killed by the police again. It was like too soon.
We turn now to Atlanta and another police-involved shooting of an unarmed Black man. According to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, 27-year-old Rayshard Brooks was fatally shot on Friday night outside of a Wendy's restaurant.
It hit pretty hard. It hit close to home. I remember going over to the Wendy's a lot growing up. The reason I was even at the Wendy's was just to say a prayer. And that lasted for a very long time because people were just mourning. After that what ensued, it was wild.
While the folks were blocking the interstate, there was another contingent of folks about a quarter mile away, apparently setting the Wendy's on fire. I, of course, have no expertise in the cause of fires, but there were a lot of people here with very fiery spirits, I would say.
And that was like the longest fire ever. Yeah, I feel like that was like a transformational moment. People were bringing sage. You know, you didn't even have to be in a spiritual world. You felt the chills run down your spine while you were there. That's why it was just so much chaos, and everybody just showed their anger and their rage that night.
We ain't what y'all do to us.
And people have their theories on who actually burned it down and such, but it's not important.
Atlanta Fire and Rescue has named a woman they believe helped set the fire, 29-year-old Natalie White.
So they're upset about these infiltrators, specifically that woman who police say started that fire.
Hang on. On Rumble, Jesus over on Rumble says it's not an either or for low QIQ minority. No. Wrong. This is not about low IQ minorities who are communists. That is completely and totally wrong. Guys, it is always about capitalism. There is no instance when it is not about capitalism. If you think it is anything else other than capitalism, please, for the love of God, stop listening to the people who told you it was anything else other than capitalism.
They didn't tell people he was kicked and stumped because they know that was gonna fuel the fire. So what did they do? They feed people a different story to keep them distracted. No one knew that he knew her. I would just say that. No one knew that he knew her. And they used that to their advantage. And that first night alone set the tone for me, and I knew like this was like real. And as soon as people continued to like sleep out there, it was time to like build a team to where we can have protection of our own and show them that we cannot be messed with or moved. That birthed the security team.
All right, a Fox News alert. We reported this at the beginning of the show. Steve Harrigan on the ground live tonight in Atlanta with breaking news. Steve, what am I looking at there?
What he did wasn't right. I understand you lost the fight. He reached back, let him go. You got his car, come back and arrest him another day. There was no reason to kill that man.
No reason to kill him.
No reason to kill him.
Tell me, where's this going from here? You've got a shotgun. I've seen 3 more rifles. Where's it going to go? What happens if the police come?
The police aren't allowed here because they're not here to protect us.
The police aren't allowed here.
Why aren't the police allowed there?
There's people here. Everybody's in here got the same intentions, the same plans. We're not here to harm anybody. We're here to protect ourselves.
They're here to protect each other.
Okay,
Sean.
All right. Thank you.
Of course, you know, everyone from that particular area is going to carry a gun. You know, it's the central hood, you know, different gangs. The cops knew from the very get-go that these are people who are angry, upset, and they do not need to be fucked with. Because we had the top of the street blocked and the back of the street blocked.
No way back. Ain't no way back.
We all had our good times there. And it was those moments that made it more worthwhile to like fight for what we were doing. People from all over would come to park their cars and do cool drifting around the street. Fast and Furious, if I could compare it, like the scene, it was nice.
So what do you say, am I worthy?
We don't know yet. But you're in. Let's go.
And then you had people just chilling, vibing. It was good music playing.
Hey, Jesus, I don't give a flying fuck if you respectfully disagree. What that means is that you need to shut up and listen and learn. This has nothing to do with low IQ minorities. If you think that and you're going to insist on that, you're going to end up getting banned in my chat, because it just shows me that you have no interest in listening, you have no interest in learning, because it is very, very clear to anyone who learns what this is about. This is not about low IQ minorities. I am not going to have this argument the entire fucking stream. If that's your position, you need to go fuck off and go talk to the Wignats and hang out with them, because that's the type of low IQ toxicity that you're spouting right now in my chat. I will not have it. We do not do that bullshit here. This is not a place for you to be your most fucking racist. Okay? So, that is my position. If you keep doing it, you're just going to be removed from my chat.
It was just party. Everybody was having fun. It was a party. People were happy. We had food. We had DJs coming out. People doing their own graffiti. People just having a good time, making connections, talking, getting to know each other.
Like, really imagine being so fucking stupid that you think a highly coordinated, organized takeover of the fucking United States is coordinated by low IQ anyone, minority or otherwise. Really imagine thinking, golly gee, they took over all the schools, and they took over all the institutions, and they took over all media, and they're the ones that control culture, and they're all just low IQ. What does that say about you? What does that say about you? That you are on the side that lost to the low IQ people. And again, it doesn't even need to be minorities. Low IQ anyone. That says you're a stupid fucking retard if you lost to a bunch of low IQ people. That means you are a fucking loser if you allowed low IQ people to come in and take over every institution in society. Only retards think this has to do with low IQ anything. No, wrong. No. Okay. Jesus, you are getting put in a timeout for the rest of this live stream, bro. You are no longer allowed to talk. Ray, if you are not here to learn, I can block you too. We are not playing into dissident right-wing insanity today, gentlemen. That is not fucking happening. Why is this happening again? We had a couple weeks where I had like no retard show up in my chat at all, and it was so fucking nice. And now we're back to the it's all the Jews, it's all the low IQ minorities. Like fuck you guys. Fuck off. Fuck right off.
It's something else. They hated that. They hated the fact that they saw us prevailing and winning, yet we were able to like party and have fun.
But you won't respect us, so we move in masses. These tears of frustration, they ain't from tear gases. Just so we on the same page, we ain't got no masses.
That was fucked up how he died in the street. They shot Rashad on the side of Wendy's. I cracked a whip on design. I felt a stroke the grown man with your knee until he started peeing. That was fucked up how he died in the street. If we get no justice, then you get no peace. Tycoon out of snip, but it's time that I speak.
This what you call beef, then I'm vegan, bitch, I'm fall for nigga. I ain't lost no good sleep in a long time. Feel like I lost some motherfucking sleep. I been on mine. Yeah, my nigga good. Give me a chance to change your mind. I bet I'm still gonna shine. 10 niggas said free wallow.
We knew people were just gonna come there just for Instagram, whatever, to get more likes.
What? Check this out, right?
You know, we weren't really tripping about that. We let people come in, you know, have their fun. But there were people there that, you know, just came to like learn more about it. And those are the people we wanted to teach.
Reality is half of the founding fathers, the framers, were human traffickers.
We did guided tours. You know, the different graffitis, different parts of the building that was burnt down, you know. We'll show them that and we'll just explain to them, hey, we've been doing this, we've been doing that, tell people. And we're just walking around the building and just look at how everything got destroyed.
I'm going to bet you. Well, this isn't Atlanta. What I was about to say is I'm going to bet you most of the graffiti was actually done by Antifa, and now they're filming black people in front of it because they want to center black people in like the experience and because it's about Black Lives Matter and all that. But I'm going to bet you most of that graffiti was not actually done by the black people. It was done by Antifa. And I say that just because I've seen them do this.
I wonder how this didn't burn.
I got that right here to carry guns. I know a lot of people, we want change and we want it now. What do we want?
The retards have gone, apparently. We scared away the retards. Yeah, you saw that, right? Hang on, let's just back up a little bit. I want to actually look at the graffiti. Because that's how we know where it came from.
I wonder how this didn't burn.
I got that right here to carry guns. I know a lot of people, we want change and we want
There it
it
is,
now.
right there, right there.
Carry guns. I know a lot of people, we want change.
What did I say? What did I say? What did I say? It was Antifa that did the graffiti.
We want it now. What do we want?
Cops suck dick. The revolution. What does that revolution thing say? What is the revolution? Do you guys see that at the white at the bottom? The revolution. I think it says the revolution will not be televised. That's Antifa. Black trans. Do you see that? Do you know a lot of black people who do like graffiti about black trans anything? Look at this. Black trans something. I don't know what that last word is. Black trans future. That's Antifa.
That was like the consistent basis. But like, for example, the funeral, if we're expecting something big like that, then that's when those days can like be outrageously different.
Today, organized protesters lined the streets of University Avenue to show respect to their fallen brother, Rayshard Brooks, on his final.
And by the way, the reason we just went through that exercise is I've already had to shout down someone in the other chat who was like, this is all just low IQ minorities, and that's who's on the ground. No. We just showed you that graffiti is specifically being done by Antifa to advance Antifa messaging. Black trans future is not low IQ minority messaging. That is Antifa messaging. Anything about the revolution is Antifa. Anything about anarchism is Antifa. So disproving the loser who I had to time out for the rest of the stream over on Rumble because he wouldn't stop talking and just listen. You've already been debunked, bro. That's why you're timed out.
Right.
The casket cars come in and it has the pictures of Trayvon Martin and everybody, like all the people who died from police brutality. Like, it's like all of their caskets are in like one line and it's just like a lot of cars and stuff. It's really like, they've been killing us for a very long time.
Oh, what's that?
That day we got attacked.
What is that a reference to? Hang on.
Caskets are in like one line and it's like a lot of cars and stuff. It's really like, they've been killing us for a very.
What's that a reference to? What does that mean? Pop quiz for the chat. What does this image mean? I'll give you a hint. This is fundamental to why the left wants to abolish the police or defund the police. What does this image mean? Don't ever just say capitalism, RJ. Don't ever do that. Don't say colonialism. Nope, wrong answer. Nope. Can we please, at long last, if anyone gives a... Okay. If you are giving a one-word answer, that answer is incorrect. Stop giving one-word answers. You get 0 credit for giving me a one-word answer. In fact, I look down upon you and feel sorry for you that you can't use your words if you're giving me a one-word answer. The answer is that they believe the police came from slave catchers. What you're seeing here is a slave catcher catching a runaway rebellious slave. They believe that this is the origin of the police. Anytime you hear them say, abolish the police, defund the police are a racist institution, the reason they believe the police are a racist institution is because they literally believe that the police descended directly from slave catchers. So let's see, who got that right? Socialists believe the police descended from slave catchers. Yup. Police is the reabductors of escaped slaves. Yup, because slaves are private property, right? So slaves are representative of capitalism in this case. Cops are the managers of private property because they captured runaway slaves. Well done. The police is slave patrol. See, this is all I'm asking for, guys. Thank you. The police, capitalism created slavery. Slavery requires slave catchers. Slave catchers are the police. The police came from slave catchers. Slave catchers are the original cops. Exactly. Police brought back the slaves, the property of the slave owners. Exactly. Well done. I wouldn't put colonialism there. That wouldn't be something I said. I would only say about the police. Not funny, Brent. Well done, guys.
Very long time. That day we got attacked.
They got the chopper right there. Oh shit.
We were attacked consistently. Bullets, guns, drones. One day, the Confederate flag was already on the truck.
Really?
People stopped him. He got out his car, started to let off a couple of rounds. And he was on the news.
The recent armed attack by a white supremacist against these protesters is why guns are present.
But of course,
Are you fucking stupid? Mandy, I would have thought that the discussion that we had earlier would have prevented you from asking this question. What was the discussion we had earlier about systemic racism, Mandy? Because apparently we have to do it again. What was the incredibly specific, incredibly direct discussion that we had about 15 minutes ago about systemic racism? We're waiting. Stop the entire stream just for you. Again. This is why you are expected to listen, Mandy. When I say that you need to listen, I actually do mean it. Because had you listened to the discussion from like 15 minutes ago, you would not have asked this question. We're waiting. Nope. No. What did I say to you? I said you needed to listen, and then I explained explicitly what the situation was 15 minutes ago. So what are you not under... Mandy, what is the definition of systemic racism? Let's go back to the conversation we just had, because you clearly didn't listen the first fucking time. What is the definition of systemic racism? You are allowed to ask questions. What you're not allowed to do is ask the same fucking question over and over and over and over and over again, trying to get a different fucking answer. That is not an answer to the question that I asked you. The question that I asked you is, what is the definition of systemic racism? No, you're not. What you're trying to do is debunk them. You are not trying to understand their language at all. I literally just had this conversation with you 15 fucking minutes ago. What is the definition of systemic racism? Do not bullshit a bullshitter, Mandy. I've been doing this for a long fucking time. I know when people are asking genuine questions, and I know when people are dicking around in my chat. So now, what is the definition of systemic racism? If you chat in anything that is not the definition of systemic racism or saying, I don't know, you are not going to like the result. We're waiting. You either give us the definition of systemic racism that we literally just gave you 15 fucking minutes ago, or you say, I don't know. Those are your two options. We're waiting. You have 30 seconds. We're waiting, Mandy. We're waiting. No. No. Capitalism does not mean whiteness. So why are you giving me now a different answer than you gave me 15 minutes ago? Because now you're really fucking around. What? Capitalism does not mean whiteness, Mandy. Try again. Yeah, I'm starting to think that Mandy is not here for authentic reasons. Because this is not the answer that Mandy gave. Do you have short-term memory issues, Mandy? What is your fucking damage? Do you have short-term memory issues? Are you stupid? Are you low IQ? Can you not remember the answer that you gave literally 15 fucking minutes ago? I do not like people who do this on my streams, Mandy, if I'm not making that very clear. Okay, now you're answering something that isn't something that I asked you. You need to direct your attention to me. Ignore the fucking chat. Why are you giving us a different fucking definition than you gave us 15 minutes ago? What is the definition of systemic racism? I don't give a flying fuck about you responding to other people in the chat. No! I know you. Oh my god, you fucking cunt. You're about to get permanently banned, but first we're going to go back and we're going to prove that you did not actually say that. This is what we have to do. This is what we have to do. This is what we fucking have to do. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. No, Mandy, you're going away. Mandy, you are going away for this entire stream. We are not going to hear from you again. And if you ever come back and do this again, that is not what I wanted to do. If you ever come back and do this again, you will be removed. The reason that Mandy is being removed is because we already told her 15 minutes ago that this has nothing to do with skin color. There's nothing. Does everyone we need to, I mean, my fucking God. Why is it, I'm going to just take a short, we're going to do a short stream today. I can already tell what's going to happen here. Why is this every single week? Why? Why can't people understand this? Capitalism is not about race. Whiteness is not about race. Systemic racism is not about race. When you say systemic racism, you mean the system that upholds racism. The system that upholds racism is capitalism, defined as private. I'm just going to fucking give up this week. I can already tell. It's defined as private property ownership. Does everyone understand this? Yes or no? The reason that Mandy got removed from the chat is Mandy wanted to be smart and say, oh yeah? What about when the police arrest white people? I can't find the chat. I'm not going to go back and find it. When the police arrest white people, they are still upholding capitalism because it has nothing to do with fucking skin color. It has to do with who is the owner and who is not the owner. It has to do with who is the oppressor versus the oppressed. It has to do with the bourgeois versus the proletariat. And if people don't understand why I'm losing my fucking mind, it is because I have literally had to explain this every day of my life for over 3 years to people who do not listen. No. Is that what I said? Does that resemble at all what I just said? No, what Mandy was doing was insisting it was about skin color when it is not about skin color. And she was trying to get me to give a different answer than the answer that she was already given because she is fully committed to it being about skin color. Is anyone else confused? Is anyone else confused about why this is not about skin color? Please raise your fucking hand or give me some indication in the chat if you believe that this is about skin color. So now everyone is on board. No. fucking wrong. See, this is why. This is why I lose my fucking mind. Because we have assholes like this guy, and we have bitches like Mandy, who are so fucking committed. It has to be about race. It has to be about race. It has to be about race. It has to be about, it's about race. Anything. No. And they play these fucking word games. Well, Carlin, you know, it's just leftist fundamentalism that doesn't make it about skin color. No, asshole. No. In fact, time out. I don't know what about this is my classroom, this is not your classroom, that is unclear to people. I don't know why I have spent more time on this stream yelling at people who are being fucking retards in my chat than I have actually explaining the videos. And I've gotten 0 super chats, which tells me this is a big ass waste of time today. So shall we continue, or shall I just take the rest of the night off and go finish my book? Because right now I'm leaning towards we just cancel Socialism Saturday and I go do something way more productive. That's what I'm leaning towards right now. All right. If you guys want me to stay, we need to make some progress towards that super chat goal. We'll watch the rest of this video and we will see where we are.
They let him off the hook because, of course, the Klansmen are protected by the police, which is why they were sent in for however long that they were needed to try to get us away.
The Atlanta police was scared. They was scared to come down the street. It's not about being Mr. Tough Guy. Just because you got a gun don't make you a tough guy.
She shot! A girl is shot! Stop shooting!
Everybody trying to run off, not even trying to see about her. Me, I have my certification to perform CPR. So me, I stayed there until the ambulance came.
Thank you, Kenneth. Appreciate it.
In the beginning for me, it's like when we're fighting, not only like the cops, it's just like, why? Like, what the fuck? I only expected to fight against the cops during. It's not X, Y, and Z and the regular civilian or person or whatever. Like, anybody can take you out at this point. You're fighting the whole world because we're in an environment to where the cops are against us, so they're not going to protect us. Nobody can protect us but God.
Thank you, Alexis. Thank you, Trendolin.
At the same time, I approved of the fact that they weren't being called because it showed the world we didn't really need them. And of course, anything can transpire. I'm not saying that, people are evil in this world, but me harming you is gonna be like the easiest thing because I can get away with it. So to save everyone and keep each other safe, you must learn how to work together.
Hang on. I want to actually look at their signs. They just said that they could harm you and get away with it, so. Thanks, Gabby. I appreciate it. Guys, I'm sorry for you guys having to deal with the yelling when you're not responsible for the yelling. I really am. Hey, I got a super chat over on Rumble. Thank you, Alpha Dork, over on Rumble. All right. It is really frustrating, though, in ways that I cannot explain when I have to repeat myself over and over and over again, and it seems that the people chatting in don't listen, so... It is very frustrating. Hey, thank you, Mass Genocide. Appreciate you. I'm just trying to look at these signs, guys, to actually read them. Look at how much progress we made on that super chat goal. Awesome. You guys paid for my sake. Alright, let's see. Dear white people, retweets aren't enough. This is about what does this sign mean? Speaking of white people, this sign says, that's a sign about racism and revolution. Dear white people, retweets aren't enough. What do they mean by that, guys? What do they mean on their sign, dear white people, retweets aren't enough? And then there's a sign here, racism something 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 revolution. Let me see if I can get a better image of that sign.
Background previous to where we were doing this
Racism is the something revolution.
revolutionary stuff. We did.
I couldn't quite make that out. I want to try to figure out what that sign says there. So when they're saying, dear white people, retweets are not enough, they're not talking to white people. They're talking they're talking about capitalism. They're telling people to be in solidarity, but what does that mean? With solidarity in what? Being liberal isn't good enough. You need to become okay, but for what? You can't be in the revolution online. You have to be in the streets. Okay, I can get behind that. Virtue signaling on social media does not equal solidarity. Yep, I think that's part of it. That white people have to do their part in the revolution. What does that mean? What does it mean? What would... Please listen to the question I'm asking you guys. Please listen to the very specific question I'm asking you. What do they want white people to do? If retweets are not enough, then what do they want, quote unquote, white people to do? What is that? There it is. They need to use their privilege. White privilege means capitalist privilege. It means the privilege of having money, having access to stuff. They need to use their privilege to try to overthrow the system. That is what that sign means. When they say retweets are not enough, what they're saying is, we're not talking about a fucking social media campaign. We are talking about a literal revolution against capitalism, mother effers, because that's what they mean when they say white. H-Tom got it too. You must join them on the streets. You need to be a real revolutionary. This is not about posting a black square on your Instagram. This is about being a real revolutionary. No, completely wrong, completely false. No, not even anywhere close to correct. You're one of the people that needs to sit down and listen. No. What does white mean? This is like, again, you were sitting here as I screamed over and over again. Has nothing to do with skin color. This has nothing to do with skin color. This has nothing to do with skin color. This has nothing to do with skin color. Why are you positioning it like it has to do with skin color? This is why I am losing my fucking mind. I'm waiting for your answer. Why are you positioning this like it has to do with skin color? There's your privilege, Suzanne. I appreciate it. Guys, if you come here to my streams and you don't learn anything and you keep coming back like week after week saying the same thing over and over again, do you think that I feel like I'm making good use of my time by teaching you the same thing over and over and over again? Don Zoomer, I'm waiting for your answer. I don't know why you haven't answered yet. Why are you referencing skin color at all? We're waiting. Why are you referencing skin color at all in any way? We're waiting for your answer, bro. Because this is what we have to do every single time someone says this is about skin color, because people just continue to say it, which means they have learned nothing. Don Zoomer, I am waiting for your answer. We have stopped the entire stream just for you. It is extremely disrespectful to not answer a question when you have been asked it and you are holding up the entire stream. Why are you positioning this as skin color when I just spent 15 minutes screaming it is not about skin color? And then I confirmed with everyone in the chat, and you were in the chat. I said, is anyone confused about this? And you said, no, we can just move on now. And then less than, 5 minutes later? Is this about skin color? Well, literally, we just talked about that for more than I wanted to talk about it. So now we're waiting for your answer, bro. Why are you positioning this like it has to do with skin color? Because that makes me believe that you weren't serious when you said 5 minutes ago that you understood that it wasn't about skin color. We are waiting for your answer. You have 30 seconds, and then I'm banning you and moving on. If you want to disrespect me by not answering the question, then you can be removed. I really should just cancel the stream. I can't now. People have super chatted in, but I really want to just cancel the stream and go do something else, if I'm being honest about it. You have 15 seconds to answer, and then I'm permanently banning you for pissing me off. Five, 4, 3, 2. All right, Don Zoomer, goodbye. Nice knowing you, bro. Oh, shit, just gotta find his chat. All right, goodbye. Permanent ban for not answering the question that they were asked. Are these the same forces at play in the pro-Palestine? Yes, these are exactly the same force. It's exactly the same. That's correct. See, new person that I yelled at earlier. He already understands. That is exactly correct. Exactly right.
We did. So this was all new to us. And even people who were like doing other protests around the city looked at us like we were just like doing it the complete wrong way. Bunch of like thugs and gangsters with guns who just think they want to fight for the cause and are blocking out the streets trying to be ignorant and prove something. Or trying to be famous or something.
Whoa, content.
Protesters say they want this space to be maintained by the community for the community. They want a community center in place of where the Wendy's is now.
As opposed to having that space be turned back into a fast food restaurant that serves bad food for our folks, or some other corporate entity that's really not in control of the communities.
The council were just those amongst who were well established to make certain calls that could, help us make it into a peace center. Different people who took that part of the fight.
State lawmakers met with protesters outside of the Wendy's for a discussion about police reform.
Know that when we go back under that gold dome, that we're going down there with a stronger voice, a collective voice, to hear everything that you have said.
What type of voice? What type of voice are they using? What type of voice did I hear? Oh, a collective voice. They're using a collective voice. Huh. It almost seems to me like they're far-left revolutionaries and not just, low IQ black people, as some would assert.
A collective voice to hear everything that you have said.
We looking for answers. We want some real answers. You ain't telling us nothing.
A lot that was planned within the council, they didn't fill us in on.
Did you see that sign? Oh, that was what was on that sign. Racism is the disease, revolution is the cure. There it is. What that means is capitalism is the disease, revolution is the cure.
It's just the fact that they made these decisions without even coming to us and asking us, hey, what do you think about this? Especially when the decision was made not to let any white people in. We weren't even around. It's just the concept here, know who's an undercover cop, basically. They didn't know who to trust. Bullets were flying past their heads too. They were getting shot at as well. They were having to deal with certain situations.
I want everyone to listen to what was just said there. So what they said is the decision was made not to let any white people in, but why weren't they letting white people in? Is it because they hate white people? No, it's not because they hate white people. It's because they were assuming that that the cops were trying to infiltrate them, and they thought one of the very best things that they could do to filter out cops was to ban white people from being in whatever group that they were in. Now, whether or not that's true, I mean, whatever, these people believe crazy things, but I want to make it very clear, they weren't banning white people because they don't like white people. They were trying to figure out who was a cop.
We weren't even around. It's just the concept here, know who's an undercover cop, basically. They didn't know who to trust. Bullets were flying past their heads too. They were getting shot at as well. They were having to deal with certain situations.
No, I mean, Gloria says, what if the fixation on race by the right is proof of how much influence the communists have? The communists never talk about race, Gloria, is the thing. They don't talk about it. If you go to their events, they don't talk about race. They haven't been talking about race this entire movie. They don't talk about it. They don't ban white people from their events. They don't criticize white people. They don't do any of this shit. This is all a right-wing fucking fantasy that's been created because fucking commentators and pundits are retarded. The reason the right is fixated on race is because Charlie Kirk tweets all the fucking time, they hate white people, they hate white people, they hate white people, they hate white... They all the fucking pundits do it. Every single time they say white anything, they make the assumption it's about skin color when it's not. And if you just listen to the context that they were speaking in, you would know that it's not. But the influencers out there going, they hate white people. They're discriminating against white people. This is racism against white people. They hate... This is an entirely right-wing created fucking problem.
I personally felt like instead we should take a step back, actually work with these people who actually genuinely want to help us and unite together, because that's what they're really afraid of.
Everybody wanted to be in control. Everyone wanted to be in control. As we was out there, the crowd got smaller and smaller every day. Until it was probably about 4 or 5 people out there.
They use our own fear against us and our own paranoia against us to get us exactly where they wanted us, alone and defenseless and paranoid. That is what exactly they have been planning for weeks, is how to dismantle this group and make sure their whole occupation ends. Starting from that same night, it was burned down all the way to July 4th. That was like the last day we occupied it.
It is so hard for the right to understand this because their influencers lie to them all the time. Their influencers lie to them every single day. They take clips out of context. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't do their research, and then they lie over and over and over and over and over again. That is why the right is fucking retarded. That is why they don't understand this. That is why they are so committed to this, because they hear their favorite commentary. Charlie Kirk said that they hate white people, so they must hate white people. That's why. This isn't confusing. This is the same problem that we've had for literally years.
That was the last day because a lot of things went wrong. A little girl, 8-year-old, Sequoia Turner, died that night. Just people should know where we went wrong, to take what we did, learn from it, and keep out everything we messed up. The paranoia and mistrust, keep that out of their movement. If you're occupying anything or fighting any battle where you must get along and work and fight alongside your teammate, you look out for each other and come together. You make decisions together, you do things together, you include each other, and keep an open heart to the blessings that can come in. What felt like a whole year was probably like a month. It was a different thing every day, and I was just distracted on so much and involved in so much. I forgot about the time. I didn't consider the time or the days. I was just like, let's fight, let's do this, while we still have the time. You know, some people may call it missing the bullets or whatever the case might be, but I felt like we were doing something very important, and it changed my life. It really did, so I miss it. A lot of us, we do.
That's the end of it. Guys, I'm gonna be really honest. I really don't want to continue. I really don't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that disappoints people. I'm not even able to process what the actual documentaries are saying. And I do actually need to watch these things, and if I'm just sitting here and I'm not even listening to what they're saying because I am so fucking pissed off that this is still a problem, then this is a waste of my time. This is a waste of your time. I don't want to be yelling on the internet all night. You don't want to hear me yell on the internet all night. I just am really confused about why, after years and 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 years of providing fucking evidence, of breaking things down, of explaining things over and over and over again, we still run into the same arguments time and time again from people who have sat there listening to me. It just like, I'm not going to continue tonight. I'm not. So I appreciate everyone who super chatted in. I apologize for disappointing you, but I'm not going to continue. So I'm going to go do something far more productive now, and I'm going to write my book, and I'm going to focus on that. And I'm sorry if I disappointed people. And yeah, I guess that's it for tonight, guys. Take care. We'll see you soon.
How are you feeling? How long have you been here? 3 months, May 17th. And what brought you here? That's difficult to answer. I'm not clear. How is it that playing the piano for people has eventually resulted in your being here in the hospital?